Yes, it finally happened. After 4 years, I made a switch to Adobe Xd, and in this video, I'm going to share why I made the switch and why right now. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Ron Segal. I'm a web designer, graphic designer, UI, product designer, whatever you want to call it. And for the past 4 years, I've been using Sketch, and actually a little bit of times I've been using Figma. So I've been using them alternatively. But for the last about a month or two, I've started using exclusively Adobe Xd. And if you've been seeing my recent Pimp My Website series, you've been seeing me designing and learning and struggling with Adobe Xd, but I've finally made the move. And the short answer about why I made the move is it's just good enough. So I've actually covered 4 years ago when Adobe just came out with the preview. I don't remember if it was called Project Comet or Experience Design, whatever it was called. I saw the preview, I looked into this, I gave it a try, and it wasn't good enough, and it was the easy thing to do to keep working with Sketch. And then Figma came out a little later down the line. Sketch was still my favorite tool, but the collaboration, the live collaboration within Figma was something that I sometimes had to do to use with my clients. However, at this point, right now, we're kind of like at the early 2020. At the end of the day, now Adobe Xd has all the tools within it. So it took them some time, right? They launched it pretty late. They try to catch up with Sketch and with Figma, but right now they have catch up. There's multiple editors that can work on the same file. There's like symbols and components, there's animation, prototyping, you can share it on the cloud. There's basically everything you need to do your web design, your product design, UX, UI, whatever you want to call it, in one software. You can share it with your client. You can do you can do your handoff to developers. So there's basically everything you need to do with it. So when it comes to basically all the software are the same. Why would I choose something else, right? I'm already in the Adobe subscription, Creative Cloud, and we had a video about that, whether I should do it or not. But for me personally, it makes sense. The bundling makes sense. I will always need, something to edit visuals with. So I will always need Photoshop. I will always need a vector editing software to edit logos or illustration. So I will need Illustrator. I will always need video editing because I'm doing videos both for this YouTube, but also sometimes for personal home projects and sometimes for client work. So I do videos, and I think more and more designers will start doing videos. So this is something that I do. And so I sometimes do print, so I use the, Adobe InDesign whenever I need to do some print, nice fancy PDFs and stuff like that. So it just makes sense. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, right, but you can use, forgot their name, Affinity Designer, right? But then I would have to bundle all these softwares together and actually pay more money. And right now with the Adobe subscription, I don't have to pay for it. And so it would actually be the moment when I made the switch was when I had to renew my Sketch license. I was thinking, do I actually want to pay this now that Adobe Xd actually has everything I need within it? And at that point, I was like, you know what? There's no use for me to keep doing that. And so I've made the switch to Xd, and actually I'm kind of happy. Of course, there's kind of like a switching costs or switching pains, whatever you want to call it. It's not the exact same shortcut. It's not the exact way that I used to do things. But at the end of the day, I think that, my thesis was that long term, I wouldn't bet against Adobe. I think Adobe is a fantastic company. They did enter the kind of screen design, whatever you want to call it, UI design tool late in the game. So it took them a while to catch up. And 4 years, you can say that it's a while, but in the long term of a huge company like Adobe, 4 years is not that long. And they catched up, and I think now they have more resources and more value add to the user than any other company like Figma or Sketch that are only working on one product. And so the value that they can bring to their users is limited. And so I kind of had a gut feeling that at some point Adobe will catch up and then I'll make the switch. I didn't think actually it would take 4 years. I assumed it will be before, but it did take 4 years. But now I'm kind of happy with where things are. I'm happy that there's a lot of innovation in the design space. I wouldn't want Adobe to, be the only player in the marketplace. Obviously, I think there's good that there are other companies that are pushing the whole market to innovate. But at this point, I think that for me, it makes sense. And I do think that for a lot of people, it's also going to start making sense pretty soon because we are enjoying the value of the bundling right now as we are in early 2020 with the whole coronavirus thing in general. I think a lot of people will start thinking about how to save money and how to bundle things together. So I'd rather not pay for multiple services if I can pay for one of them. Plus, Adobe came up with the thing that they're giving you like 2 or 3 months free on the Creative Club subscription, which I think is great for many designers. If you haven't got this, I think you can reach out to their customer support on chat and they will give you like 2 or 3 months for free. So I think they're doing a lot for the community and the community will benefit from it. So those were my thoughts. Let me know in the comment which software you use to do your web design, product design, and why. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.